I want to talk about automation and how it's going to affect our working world and how it affects the outcomes of corporations and how it relates to employee or hiring employees or maybe eliminating jobs or human operated tasks. Usually when we think of automation, we usually think of that assembly line type of automation where the physical labor is being replaced. And that is kind of become more common nowadays. There is a different type of automation now called robotic process automation. Now this involves more of knowledge type work, like entering information on the computer, data, analytics, processing information, basically things that people did in the office. So not only does the automation affect your physical labor force, but now it's affecting your office workers and your knowledge workers. I wonder sometimes that if they go too far with this, like they claim it will create new jobs, but not everyone can. I would put it like this: a lot of jobs, or a lot of the glamorous, high-paying jobs, it usually involves either manipulating the environment, your engineering, your science, or it involves processing information. Your lawyers, journalists, your high-paid office workers that do like data analytics or process data. And I want to say not everyone in the world can do this small cluster of jobs, right? At some point, we have to, I want to say, reconcile where everyone can find employment where they can be self-sustaining and, find a bit of independence or just, a way of taking care of themselves. Promoting these glamorous jobs, which is not, it's not bad, but again, it's a small sector, and everyone can't be a doctor, everyone can't be an engineer, everyone can't be a computer programmer, everyone can't be a lawyer, and you're eliminating jobs with these automation. You're even eliminating these professional jobs. So with this work, who's going to purchase the outcomes besides maybe a corporation purchasing from a corporation? But where are they going to get money for consumer products? Because if a large percentage of people don't have the income, where does the money come from? That's just something I thought about. Before I get too far off topic, well, it's kind of related, but I want to get back to the robotic process automation. This is a type of automation that looks like it addresses knowledge work. For example, if you look at onboarding, this process basically takes onboarding tasks that's performed by HR and managers and automates it. This is just one example. Forms, check boxes, applications, offer letters, answering email queries. I think we've all kind of experienced this when we've called a place. We get that automated voice that says, "Oh, can I help you?" And then it gives you a list of things to select. You have a question about your salary, or maybe you're calling to purchase something and you have a question about a particular product. I guess this is part of that robotic process automation. This is basically a series of bots that perform these duties, and I'm just explaining in layman's terms. I am not a programmer by any means. I'm explaining it by my understanding. If you can comment and correct me, I welcome that. Basically, it looks at these bots basically filling out forms automatically instead of an employee doing this. It says it frees up time for an employer to focus on more critical tasks. I'm wondering, okay, how long or how much critical tasks are going to be involved, right? Is this going to reduce the workforce even further? So anyway, yeah, it basically fills out forms, processes information, things that would take a group of people or maybe one person So they claim it saves time, it saves money from hiring a person, it saves resources, which, that's fine, you want to save money. But it gets to a point, if everyone's doing this, who's going to buy your product? Based on robotic process automation, it's basically looking into automating a lot of knowledge work. It can follow the steps of any person at a computer, filling out information on a spreadsheet, email addresses, access. It can basically configure an account for you automatically without you just maybe a press of a button. And a user or somebody creating a bot, it gets to the point where you can create the bot yourself through a user interface. It basically records the steps and automates the steps that you've basically slowly gone through, and you create that bot, and it basically does everything that your secretary or your HR or your manager would do. Again, I find it pretty interesting. Yeah, there are good benefits. I mean, what are we going to do as far as pay now? I mean, if the robotic processes are doing everything, this is all software based. This is not a physical robot. They're basically software bots. So again, I'm wondering if this is replacing knowledge work. This is basically self-repair of software as well. They send bots to kind of replace particular modules, particular code. They claim, it's going to be 10 times faster, no human error. That's another thing they promote. Again, I mean, these things sound good from a process standpoint, but just from a human standpoint, in regards to just having gainful employment, what are people going to do in the long term? This is my question. If everybody starts to automate everything, what do we do? Do we all sell lemonade? Do we, you've automated manufacturing products, you're automating software design, you're automating repair of things. Nowadays, I notice if you have to have something repaired, they basically just send you a new part or a new system. A lot of people don't fix things on the industrial level like they used to, like replace a part. Like, I like fixing things. I get an enjoyment out of that. There are, us mom and pop shops or people who kind of fix things on your own. But when you work with like larger organizations, you notice when something goes bad, they basically replace it now. Or they send you a refund and you can repurchase the latest model. Again, I mean, that's okay, but at where do we automate ourselves out of tasks to do? This is just something that I wonder. Again, how are we going to address that? Anyway, let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much for listening.